You're listening to After the Review.
After the review.
After review, the ruling on the field is confirmed.
Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? We are here for week 11 of Backyard Bookies. Scott, we didn't have a good week last week. I'm gonna blame our early recording for our complete lack of winning picks we had. It was pretty rough out there for us.
Yeah, didn't get off to a good start with Hollywood on Thursday. He pretty much shit the bed. I think Lamar pretty much shit the bed against
The Ravens. At least the Ravens lost, if it makes us feel
yeah,
better.
I mean, it's a little better, but it doesn't make me feel any better that I lost right away on that one. Thursday, right off the bat, big fat L, and
In the
then
hole.
had to wait until the weekend to find out my other L's. Besides one of the other games that I somehow miraculously got right, but really tough week. At least my lock push. So that wasn't too big of a loss. It could have been way better. Could have been way worse.
Could have been
if that one wouldn't have pushed. Could have been down about 250. It would have been a really tough week for me, but it's all right. Look, I'm seeing the board pretty well this week, I feel like, and I got some good picks for us. So we're gonna mix up our picks this week a little bit. We're doing a little differently because I think
We did. We're getting into
both
a
both
new...
are kind of over the head-to-head stuff because I think I don't even know what my record was. It probably wasn't very good. So we're gonna mix it up a little bit, but excited for this week.
All right, so let's just do a quick rundown. Like you said, you lost $130, so not a disaster, bringing you to 1232, which is pretty strong still. 6-3-1 now on the locks with the push. UConn Clemson under 51, pushed exactly 51 points. Pretty miraculous, honestly, for a push there. Lost Kentucky at minus 21.5. They dominated that game too, just wasn't quite enough. UTSA minus 33, not even close. Had a scare there.
Yeah, it was like tied at halftime, I think.
They
So I
were-
was like, okay, that one's not happening.
I think they were tied with like 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they put on a show. Mississippi State drug you out of the hole, though, with the second half of second halves, +6, won outright against Auburn. They were down 24, 24-3 or something like that at half 28.
Yeah, something like that.
It was something
actually, I think it was actually 28-3.
Yeah,
Probably.
28, 25 point halftime.
I think it was a
deficit.
Patriots Falcons score.
Yeah.
They dug their way out of it.
We'd love to see it, hate to see it, I don't know. And then your parlay, Eckler. Did Eckler go over his receptions?
No, I think he had 2 or 3.
He caught a touchdown pass, though. He did catch a touchdown pass. And then
It just
all
just
fell
hate to
apart
see
on
it.
the parlay. So, but not too bad. I, on the other hand, 0-5, lost 2 games literally on the last play of the game. Let's just run it down here. I lost 202, bringing my grand total to 1095. We're still up here. Locks are now 7-3 for the season. Georgia, Tennessee, under 56.5 was my lock. Damn you, Kirby Smart. The game was over. Georgia had it comfortable. Kirby Smart declined a holding penalty, and instead of pushing Tennessee back to the 3rd and 15, he declined it and got a 4th and 6. And this whole thing was a complete disaster for us. And they scored a touchdown to hit the over 56. So literally would have been the last play of the game if they stopped them. Georgia runs out the clock there. New Mexico State plus 56 didn't hit. They kicked a field goal instead of a touchdown on that first drive. They get a touchdown, they cover, and that's what I was hoping for. Didn't hit. Arizona minus 9.5, no chance. This is where I'm blaming the Wednesday a little bit. The word came out that Kyler Murray was not going to play on Thursday, essentially, or at least it was not looking good, that he had not progressed at all, really, with his ankle, so that was tough. Kirk, over 3.5 rushing yards, complete disaster. Had it, was won, and the Vikings actually decided to win a game, not on the last, minute, or lose a game in the last minute, and they converted a first down and were able to take some knees, and the knees took it out. So, yeah, and then the Rams on Monday Night Football, Stat Padford put us away into the worst possible situation. So, you got that dog figured out over there?
Yeah, we're good. All's good.
That's
to mute myself for a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's all good now.
It's all right, wild if. So, yeah, bad week, but we're looking to bounce back. Let's get us started with your first game, Scott.
We talked about this a few minutes ago. Most of the picks I'm going to have this week are kind of the ones that you kind of look at the lines and you're like, that's obvious. I'll take that. A lot of them are going to be, I'll take that, but the opposite.
The opposite.
So Ohio State is playing Michigan State. Ohio
7
State is minus 19.
7 versus 4.
Against 7 versus 4. They're 19-point favorites. You really look at that game. It's a sort of rivalry game. It's not it's not Ohio State Michigan, but
it's the state of Michigan.
It's a sort of rivalry, but it's the state of Michigan. 77% of the bets are on Michigan State because 19 is a lot of points. That's almost 3 touchdowns for all you math geeks out there.
Math is hard.
So typically you'd think, man, 19 points against 7 versus 3 or 7 versus 4. You kidding me? I'll take those points. Now I'm going to go ahead and swallow those points. I'll take Ohio State minus 19. I feel like Ohio State's been playing really well. C.J. Stroud's been kind of coming to his own a little bit. I just don't – it's just really just one of those games that makes zero sense whatsoever to go against Michigan State with the points, so you kind of just have to do it just with the way gambling works. So I'm going to take Ohio State minus 19. It's a little scary, but 44 to win 40 on that one.
Big number.
I think Ohio State's been good enough to cover that game. What time's the game at here? Let's see. Take a look here.
It's an 11 a.m. kickoff. 11 a.m.
It's an
kickoff.
early game. Early game. It's at the shoe. They have home field advantage. We all know what goes on in the shoe. So really just because most of the people are picking Michigan State, I'll take the opposite. Go minus 19. Ohio State 44 to win 40.
Well, this is a great segue because this goes into my first pick, and I'm going to be part of the crowd here. 19 points. So big. It's number 7 versus number 4. Ohio State has looked good. Their offense has been getting better. Took care of Purdue pretty handily. Michigan State is not Purdue. Michigan State can run the football. Ohio State has struggled a little bit against the run. The interior line for Ohio State isn't as good as it normally is. So I think Michigan State's going to be able to ball control here. Now, I don't think they're going to win this game outright. I still think Ohio State's the better team. This is by far the best defense Ohio State's faced this year, though. Definitely better than Oregon's defense, and you saw how they struggled with Oregon's defense earlier in the year. So I expect a back and forth here. The wide receivers are so great for Ohio State. C.J. Stroud's really coming into his own here, but almost 3 touchdowns is way too much for me. I think Ohio State wins this game by like 14, maybe 10 points here. It's going to be a close game. I love that it's an 11 a.m. kickoff. Those are the kind of games that, you just don't see a big blowout in tight games necessarily early in the morning. It's going to be a slow start, and I kind of want that slow start for Michigan State, especially on the road. The crowd's not necessarily into it. They haven't been lubricating all day, if you know what I mean. They're not feeling it. It's 11 o'clock in Ohio. Like, I'm just waking up. I'm sure they were up at 7 o'clock or something drinking. But, yeah, so I'm all over Michigan State here. I love what Mel Tucker does for them. I also really like this because they've already lost. If they were undefeated, I would feel very heavy about Ohio State here because the weight of that undefeated just gets to teams. I heard this stat last week. After week 9 in college football, if an undefeated team is playing a team with a winning record since, I think, 2015, they're 41% winners. So you're more likely to lose if you're undefeated playing against a winning team after week 9. So that's a big, big statement there. I mean, we saw it last week. Oklahoma, undefeated, winning team Baylor, upset. There you go. So, yeah, that's why I'm going with Sparty right here at plus 19. So head-to-head game, first off the bat for everybody.
What was your money?
22 to win 20. I'm not super confident in this game, but I like it. I got big money elsewhere.
So, okay, all right. Love to hear that. Okay, so we have our second game. One more game that you're like, really? You're really going to pick that way? We got Kansas and TCU.
The Jayhawks.
Kansas coming off a massive, I wouldn't even say massive. Texas isn't very good, but
a huge upset.
Just for the namesake, massive name.
31-point dog. Straight out.
31-point dog. I think it was plus 2,800, I think, to win that one.
It's a lot of money.
Maybe 3,300, something like that, something ridiculous like that. They're going into Frogland. They are going to be 21.5-point underdogs here. lot of the money's on Kansas because I think it's more of that "what have you done for me lately" kind of thing. They just came off the big win against Texas. TCU, they beat Baylor, but they're kind of under the radar a little bit. They're in the Big 12. Nobody really watches the Big 12
ever
that much. 74% of the money, or 74% of the bets, are on Kansas because people just think they just beat Texas, so they're just going to run over TCU or keep it close.
Are you sure they're not confused? It's not basketball. They think it's basketball. They're betting Kansas basketball against TCU.
Exactly. So that's why I'm picking TCU minus 21.5 at home. I think TCU is going to run them over. They have all that emotion coming off that Texas win, and they still forget they have to play more football.
Perfect letdown spot for a team that doesn't win games.
Absolutely a perfect letdown spot just to get mashed by actually a pretty hot quarterback. I forgot his name, Spencer.
I don't know, the freshman, Andy Dalton.
The freshman at
Andy
TCU.
Dalton.
Yeah,
he's wearing number 14 like Dalton.
He's been doing really well. Yeah, he's been doing really well. He had that massive game against Baylor, and they'll be at home, and I think they'll beat him by more than 3 touchdowns. So it looks like to me 33 to win 30 on that one. I'm going to take your Swanty Frogs minus 21.5, easy peasy. I think Kansas I think they're going to go back to being Kansas next week.
I like this pick a lot, actually.
It's not really a thing. So, yep, TCU minus 21.5, 33 to win 30.
All right, perfect. I actually love that pick right there. Thinking what I'm going to do. I'm going to go back to, let's go Friday night. I got a game Friday night. A little something different. Let's head to the frozen pond. I'm going to build a little NHL action right here. Now, there's only a couple games on Friday night. And I like this game. We got a new team in the NHL, the Seattle Kraken. Maybe the best name in all of professional sports. Strong name, strong jersey. Not a strong hockey team. They are not the Vegas Golden Knights who hop into the league and are just dominant. They have won 3 in a row against bottom teams, but they got the Colorado Avalanche coming into town. And now if I watch a hockey team, it is the Colorado Avalanche. That is my team. I know you say don't bet this, but I watch this team. I know this team. Great offense. Got no goaltending whatsoever. Seattle does not have any defense. They're 32nd in the league in goals against. They give up points here. They can't stop anybody. Colorado's been hot lately. They've won 3 in a row too. Oh, excuse me. Colorado's won 3 in a row. Seattle's lost 5 in a row. They're 4-10. They're just falling apart. They got no depth, no goaltending. Colorado's figured out their defense a little bit, but if they can do anything, they can score. Led by probably the most potent offense in the NHL. I think they're 4th in goals for. They're all top in everything. So I'm actually going to take the Avalanche here, minus a goal and a half on the road at plus 134. I think this is a really good bet here. They've been rolling teams lately. This is going to be a 5. They can put up 4 or 5 goals, which is what they tend to average on a nightly basis. Seattle's going to have a real tough time keeping up with them offensively, and I know Seattle's going to give them up because they have the worst goaltending in the league. So I'm going to take Colorado minus a goal and a half on Friday night, plus 134. I am going to risk 32 win. What is my payout here? It is 32 win. I can't even see my ticket. Whatever. 30 at plus 134. I don't know. It's a good chunk of change right there. That's all I know. So, yeah, 30 to win money.
Going to the National Hockey League. I love it. Is that our first? I think that's our first hockey.
That is our first hockey pick. Yeah, the Golden State plays tonight on Thursday. Otherwise, I'd bet Golden State. I told y'all when I picked Golden State as my lock a few weeks ago, bet Golden State every night. They are a lock. They crush.
Peter, it's funny you say that. For my third pick, I'm taking Golden State at Detroit tomorrow. They're playing in Detroit, minus 9.5. Like you said, very hard to pick against anything Golden State's doing. It's amazing that you just read my mind. It's literally my next pick.
It's amazing because I don't know these picks either. Back to back though.
We don't talk before these most of the time. So
it is a back. Are they playing? They're playing tomorrow. Oh yeah, they are back to back. Yep.
In Detroit, yeah.
In
so
Detroit.
They have.
We got Cleveland tonight.
4-1 against the spread the last 4. 4-1 straight up. They lost to Charlotte a few nights ago. It's just so hard to bet against Steph Curry in the game. Jordan Poole's playing like a maniac. Draymond's doing his part.
Gary Payton yamming on people just for fun.
Gary Payton,
every game.
Wiggins is playing really well. It's just. I mean, Detroit has Cade Cunningham. But what else you got? I mean, nothing else nothing else is going to stop them. So I think 9.5 is a good number. They are playing it back-to-back. It's a little worrisome. But I think really betting Golden State any night is a good bet. You can never, feel that bad if they don't cover. They're going to win, but if
you could just money
they
line
don't cover,
just keep money lining them.
If you just money line them every week, you'll win some money. So, but I'm not going to do that. I'll swallow the points here. 9.5, 55 to win 50 on this one.
I like that.
Like you said, it's kind of a lock each week just to pick them and see what happens, and I think this is the way to do it here. Like I said, back-to-back's a little worrisome, but I think our boy Steve is going to Steve and Steph are going to come out and probably kick the shit out of Detroit. They don't have enough experience, so I think an easy bet there.
I wish we had a futures pot. I could have put ahead on this program. I would have had Golden State was great odds to win the title before the season. I don't know what they were, but they were not favorite by any stretch of the imagination. You could have got great money. Clay's not back. James Wiseman's not back. This team is scary. I know it's early. Steph wants that MVP. Steph trying to say, hey, guys, I'm the best player. I mean, he just outdueled Durant in Brooklyn like it was nothing. So, yeah, he's putting in the work. Love that pick. Love that pick. Love that pick. I'm going to go stay in the SEC. Now, I bet on New Mexico State last week. Let me down. I also, I bet on the under last week in the SEC, and that also let me down. But I'm going to stick on brand here. New Mexico State, back-to-back SEC opponents. They're at Kentucky this week. 60 is the over-under right here. I'm loving the under in this game. New Mexico State's not scoring any damn points. Kentucky's got a great offense. They could pound the rock. They've been putting up points left and right. But they tend to peter out around 40 points. They kind of pull off the gas. They stop it. They slow it down. A lot of ball control. The clock can just melt away sometimes for this Kentucky team. Play pretty good defense, too, the Kentucky Wildcats, except against Tennessee. But we saw Tennessee. We saw the difference between top-tier defenses and, everybody else is out there. So I'm loving the under in this game. 60 points feels like so many points for New Mexico State to keep up with. I mean, even if Kentucky gets to 50, New Mexico State's got to put up 10. That's a lot of points for New Mexico State. They couldn't muster up anything against Alabama. I mean, I guess maybe you say, well, Vandy got 17. Okay, Vandy's better than New Mexico State. We know this. New Mexico State's 1-9 and not in a Power 5 conference. So I'm sticking on brand here. I'm betting the under. Kentucky Wildcats only 22 to win 20 because I don't want to get burned 2 weeks in a row bad by New Mexico State. We're going to take minimal burnings if I get burned here. But I think this is a strong pick. I just don't see New Mexico State scoring any points to keep up, hit this over here. And I don't think Kentucky's hanging 58 on somebody, to make it super awkward.
I think we just start calling this podcast "Let's Shit on the State of Mexico" podcast. But we don't have any faith in any.
Bet their no offense. We have no faith in any team's offense. Hey, I took them last week. Come on, I've taken both New Mexico schools and I've been burned twice. So maybe I'm on this train with you. All right, what's your next game?
So we're going prop here.
We're going prop here. Let's go.
I'm gonna go.
We got a prop every
third
week now.
In a row. Another prop parlay. They haven't worked out very well for me so far, but
he keeps rolling dice.
I think this one feels pretty good. Bear with me, people. It'll hit eventually. Trevor Lawrence is bad. At least he's playing bad.
He's not that bad.
He will eventually.
He
will be pretty good at some point.
They won a game.
They won a game, so
they've won 2 games.
it's through 10 weeks. He has 8 touchdowns, 9 picks. That's not good, Pete. It's not very good. His over under is 1.5 touchdowns. At the under, it's -200. So that just gives me all the faith in the world that he's not going to do anything. So I think that's an easy under 1.5. Then, being -200, you got to put quite a bit down for that to cash. So you kind of got to put another bet with that. So I think this is even a bigger lock. Jonathan Taylor.
Oh, yeah. I like this.
Disgusting. This guy scores every week. He is a horse for the Colts. Carson Wentz is kind of sporadic. He can be really good. He can be really bad. But they have that one. They really have that one thing, one player that they know they're going to get everything out of.
Production.
Get all kinds of production out of Jonathan Taylor's our guy here. He's minus 145 for an anytime touchdown. I think I'll take that easy peasy. I mean, if Carson Wentz doesn't play well, they'll just start handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor. He can pretty much score it on any possession. He's that good. So minus 200, minus 145, that parlayed together, that's plus 155. I'm gonna go 40 to win 62 on that one. Like these a lot, especially the Jonathan Taylor one.
Okay.
Trevor Lawrence, I think he's thrown 2 touchdowns once this year. That was week 1. And other than that, it's pretty much been nothing for him. So pretty easy, plus 155, 40 to 162.
Okay, so it's funny, we were on the same wavelength. I didn't want to put the parlay in. I can't risk this double loss. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown, was a very serious contender for me. But I'm gonna go to the big game of the week. We got the Cowboys at the Chiefs. This is the big time game of the week for everybody, and Patrick Mahomes is back. I think he's back. He made that throw against Green Bay to seal the game, and it's almost like he awoke. You know, he's activated. Threw for 4 touchdowns on Sunday night against the Ravens. Threw for 400 yards. Dallas 5 touchdowns. There you go. See, I just stopped watching. I thought I was done watching Tyreek Hill destroy me in fantasy, but we did come back and win that week. But speaking of Tyreek Hill, man is a burner. He runs by people. Hard to catch. Turned into actually a pretty good wide receiver. Does a lot of stuff pretty well. Dallas Cowboys defense is very, very overrated. People feel the vaunted Cowboys defense. They're one of the worst defenses in man coverage in the press. So Tyreek Hill's a man burner. If you line up in man, Dallas, you are going to get burned. And Patrick Mahomes is going to make sure you get burned. So I love it. Minus 160 here. Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown. I think this is a good, safe bet here. Dallas is terrible in man defense. Tyreek is a man burner. Patrick Mahomes is back. I think Dallas is going to be a little flat-footed here. Offensive line seems to be playing better for Kansas City, get the protection up front. So, yeah, this feels like a total trap game for them. It's going to be a high-scoring game as well. Kansas City's defense has been playing good lately. I don't think that continues against Dallas's offense. I flirted between him and CD here, but I feel more confidence in Patrick Mahomes than I do Dallas. And, really Andy Reid as a head coach in general. Mike McCarthy could who the hell knows with Mike McCarthy? Kind of overrated. So I'm going to go 40 to win 25 here on my prop bet. Tyreek Hill, anytime touchdown scorer at minus 160. All right.
Yeah, I feel like we all knew that Patrick Mahomes wasn't going to stay incognito for this long. He's going to come out and just start tearing it up. All the pundits were on his ass saying, "Is Patrick Mahomes done?" Like, are you kidding me? Like, you guys really thought
he's not
that?
done.
So I think
he was down bad.
Get the ball to his boy Tyreek. Yeah, Trayvon Diggs might be on Tyreek, but I think Tyreek can still. He's still one of those guys you can just dump it off to him and run forever, or you can just have him burned. So Trayvon had a good start, but
he's been burned a lot. He's given up 5 touchdowns, I believe. He's given up 5 touchdown coverage.
I think that all started against the Patriots.
Yeah, he's getting kind of. Kirk Cousins missed him. He had Jefferson toasted him, and he had to PI him, pull him in the back of his jersey. He would have had a touchdown, and then Cousins missed wide open Jefferson, who toasted him again. So yeah, any quick man burners against him could be a problem here. So yeah, I agree with you. Like you said, Patrick Mahomes, he was down bad, but he is back. All right, let's get to our lock of the week.
Oh yeah! Let's go, baby! Let's go!
What do you got?
So I've been talking about this game for more than a few weeks with you and with others. I can't be in the state of Utah and not talk about this game.
It's a bye.
Fortunately,
it's a homer pick.
Oregon and Utah are playing in probably the biggest game this valley has seen in a very long time. My dad will be going to the game. I won't be, unfortunately. That's all right. We'll be at the bar. We'll have a few cocktails with some of the local Salt Lake City.
Those weaker cocktails that they have over there in Salt
Lake. They're a little weaker, but when you just drink more, it kind of cancels it out. So not a big deal. Kind of going back to that trend that I've been talking about. Oregon is number 3. Utah is number 20 something.
something like that.
23. 3 against 23. Number 23 is a favorite in this one. I've been saying for a few weeks, Utah's going to beat Oregon. I thought Oregon opening up would have been maybe like a -4.5 favorite, maybe -5, but I woke up on Monday or Tuesday whenever I looked at this, and they were the favorite. I'm like, whoa, okay. I was going to go fly over to Wendover and throw in a bet, Utah money line, but not looking as good now. Now that Vegas kind of is on the same page as me. I think a lot of people are taking Oregon just because they're number 3 in the nation. 66% are taking Oregon. I'm taking Utah. -3.
You texted me this on Sunday.
I can be a homer all you want, but I've watched them. I've been to a game.
They were bad against Arizona.
Any given Saturday or Sunday, whichever one. New week. Going to be a fun game. I think Utah will come out a lot of intensity. They know they know that they might have to play them a few weeks again in the Pac-12 championship. They want to be the spoiler. I don't think Oregon knows what's going to hit them. Cam Rising's a good player. I think it'll be pretty close, but I think it might even be a field goal game, which is a little scary. It could push, but which would be interesting if both blocks back-to-back weeks would push, but let's hope that doesn't happen. Utah -3, 100 to win 91. Feeling really good about this one. I want to go to the game, but it's all right. I'll just enjoy the bar scene and enjoy the Utah Utes pulling it out.
Okay.
We'll take Utah.
All right. So I'm going to go here. We're going to the Big 12. Big upset last week. I mean, not a huge upset, but a big upset. Baylor Bears took down the undefeated Oklahoma Sooners. They're at Kansas State this week. Now, Kansas State's had a very strong season. They're 7-3, kind of under the radar for most people. It is the Big 12. They haven't played the top dog yet here. But Baylor's got to keep pace in this Big 12 race. They now have the tiebreaker over Oklahoma, which is massive. Lost to Oklahoma State, I believe, so that's one that's going to bite them in the butt. They got Kansas State and Tech left on their schedule. They already slipped up against TCU. They cannot afford to let this one slide here. They're getting a point on the road. I think Baylor's going to be focused. They're not going to look past Kansas State. They know they just need Oklahoma State to beat OU in Bedlam, and they're in the Big 12 championship game. That's all they need. So they can't afford to lose to Kansas State or Tech here. I liked what I saw from Baylor. Their defense was great. Totally outcoached Lincoln Riley on the defensive front. The offense couldn't do anything. They had to go to old Rattler over there to try and muster up something. Really couldn't get anything going either. Bohannon didn't throw the ball good again, but he ran all over Oklahoma. They utilized his ground game. It was very effective. Had a strong second half for the Bears. I'm going to take the Bears on the money line here, getting a point. I think they win this game outright, get a little bit better odds for me here on my lock. -105. I'm betting 100 to win 95 here, just to, sprinkle a little extra cheddar when I can here. I really like Baylor in this spot. They've already had their slip-up game with TCU. They're not having another one here against Kansas State. But
all right. I like it.
All right. So new picks. We got a new game we've added.
Yeah, so instead of doing our 3 picks, we're each going to pick a money line. It's got to be over +170. I had one that was a little around 170. I'm gonna leave that one be. I had Wake Forest. They're not favorites against Clemson, which is very odd, but they were closer to 170. So instead, we're gonna go back to the SEC. Auburn and South Carolina.
Ooh,
very, very interesting game. Bo Nix isn't playing.
Bo Nix out.
Nix is out. I said he's not very good to begin with, but still.
Even worse.
They're going to their backup quarterback. Head-to-head recently. They played last year. South Carolina did win that game. They were underdogs. It was 30-22. They had a pretty big game against Florida. They kicked the shit out of them, 40-17.
Florida
lost not a very good one against Missouri last week, but
down bad.
It happens. And Auburn's kind of getting their ass kicked the last 2 weeks. One against our Aggies, and then really just shit the bed last week against Mississippi State.
It's bad.
Just blew a horrible lead, and they lose Bo Nix. Going to South Carolina. They're 7.5-point favorites. I'm gonna take South Carolina on the money line. Got them plus 235, which pretty substantial. So we're gonna take $10 for each of these?
All the money line bets will be $10, just like our locks are $100. I think this is a good even, so we don't blow our load losing betting these big crazy money lines, trying to go crazy here. So just a little something if you want to spice things up.
So we'll go. It says plus 237. We'll round up to 240 just to keep it even. So $10 to win $24.
I like it.
It's a gamble. It's gambling.
It's fun. It's an upset. It's what it is. It's an upset.
It's fun. It's fun to watch. So we'll see what happens.
It's fun. The people like dogs. Everyone loves a good underdog, and you feel like a genius when you hit the underdog here, especially a bigger underdog. God, imagine if we had Kansas last week. I did. I'll tell you what, though.
I don't think anybody did, but
no, not straight out. I'm sure
people.
I'm sure plenty of people had them getting 30 points. I think that one was fine. Let's go to, I don't even know what friggin' conference this is. This is the American Athletic Conference. We got the undefeated Bearcats. What did I tell you about undefeated teams week 9 against teams with a winning record? Not great for them. They have the SMU Mustangs coming into town now. SMU was looking like they were on a roll, man. They were banking on an undefeated season, lost in the most heartbreaking of heartbreaking ways to Houston, had them beat, and Houston runs back the kickoff after they had them beat with 10 seconds left, I believe. They really just threw off their undefeated season. They kind of let the lag hang over against Memphis, but bounced back last week against UCF, put a good beat down on a okay UCF team. So I like this right here. This is the spot here where Cincinnati's going to trip up. If Cincinnati's tripping up, this is the spot. They haven't been impressive down the stretch here late. I mean, barely beaten. Tulsa at home, had to get a goal line stand here. It's just the committee's not been impressed with them, and I have not been impressed with them either. After that Notre Dame win, they haven't built upon that. I was really buying this team when they put a good beat down on Notre Dame in Notre Dame. But, yeah, just really let down. So I think this is SMU's spot here. They're plus 340 to win this game. Again, the weight of an undefeated season just gets to teams. How many year in and year out we see teams blow an undefeated season, especially with so much on the line. Cincinnati, I mean, they're the only hope. They have to run the table, and they probably have to do it convincingly to find a way into this playoff. The second Oklahoma State wins the Big 12 with one loss, they leapfrog Cincinnati. So their back's against the wall. Even if Oregon loses this weekend, their backs are really against the wall. So I'm going with the Mustangs here. The weight and the pressure of the moment is going to get to the Bearcats, plus 340. So it's going to be 10 to win, 34 doll hairs for us in my moneyline upset.
You can also kind of look at Cincinnati the last 4. They've been pretty substantial favorites and have been 0-4 against the spread. They're kind of starting to slip.
They're slipping. I
don't hate it. I think plus, what is it, 340 you said? Yeah, 340 is a huge number.
It's a good number.
It's a big number.
The lines.
I think it's a pretty good value pick right there.
It's only 11.5 the spread. So
yeah.
I thought that was.
I think most of the money's going to be on SMU right now too. I think it's.
I would bet 76%
of the bet.
So that means Cincinnati's going to roll up.
Money line. Yeah, and then money line's 86% on SMU. So
ooh.
A lot of people have the same idea, but I think even though that's the case, I think that's a pretty substantial bet there. I like it a lot.
All right, so let's give us a rundown of your picks, Scott. Let's let the people know what you got.
Absolutely. So we have Ohio State minus 19, 44 to win 40. I feel like everyone's picking Michigan State, so I'll pick Ohio State. That's how it works. We got the Tcu Horned Frogs minus 21.5 against Kansas, 33 to win 30. People are taking Kansas just because they come off that big win against Texas. I don't think it's going to happen. They're going to have a big letdown here. Got Golden State tomorrow night, minus 9.5. I know they're playing tonight. Back-to-back's a little scary, but 55 to win 50. Big bet on Steph Curry and the boys to pull out a pretty big win against Cade Cunningham and nobody else for the Detroit Pistons.
DK Cunningham.
We have our prop picks. I got Trevor Lawrence under a touchdown and a half at minus 200. Jonathan Taylor, anytime touchdown, minus 145. Parlayed is plus 155, 40 to win 62. think that both those feel really good for me. Feel really good about those. And then my lock of the week, Utah -3, baby. Gonna be a fun week here. Fun Saturday here in the Valley to watch that game. I'll be at the bar rooting them on, and my dad will be rooting them on at Rice Eccles, so it'll be pretty fun. Got a lot on the line for that one, so I got to keep it fun.
It's gonna be
a few honorable mentions I want to put in.
Okay,
I
believe in this.
I feel like I'm seeing the board pretty well this week.
I believe in the honorable mentions.
Bama, Arkansas over 57. I like that one a lot. And then also Wake Forest plus 4.5 at Clemson. Money lines also that was in play as well, plus 170. Those are two little honorable mentions. Not going to be on the record, but just for anyone to.
I like it. If you feel
want to bet them,
you put it on the. You put it out in the earth either. I like that. So when it hits, you feel good,
out there.
And when it doesn't,
Exactly.
you're not you're not on the hook for those when they don't hit.
Exactly. And South Carolina money line plus 240 against Auburn. Interesting game there with no Bo Nix, and Auburn coming off two pretty big losses. So we'll see what happens.
I agree. All right, let me hit you with mine. I got the Avalanche on Friday night minus a goal and a half, 30 to win 40. Here at plus 134, so a nice strong way to start off the weekend for us, I believe. Under 60 points, New Mexico State and Kentucky. There, I'm going with the Sparty and Michigan State plus 19 at Ohio State in the shoe. I do like Ohio State outright in this game. I will be very surprised if Michigan State wins this game. Prop pick, anytime touchdown for my man Tyreek the Cheetah Hill against the Dallas Cowboys. Man's fast, and the Cowboys can't play man defense, much more of a zone defensive team. My lock of the week, I'm going with the Baylor Bears money line at minus 105, so 100 to win 95 for us on that one. And then my upset money line pick is SMU plus 340 at Cincinnati. So, yeah, that's going to do it for us this week. Let us know if you like the new form, new picks. We're going to try and do money line pick every week. And a prop pick every week just to make things a little bit.
Maybe even throwing a little guest pick every now and again if someone wants to
join
out,
us,
contribute to that. I had a few this week, but we'll wait for it next week. One of the guest picks didn't want to do it, so
he's a shy guy.
Right.
He's a shy guy.
He's a shy guy. So if anyone wants to reach out, maybe throw in a pick at us, reach on the pod and see what you got. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Put us up against us. Because we need all the help we can get, I guess, to make us look better. Or worse, who knows? Depends how good they do and how bad we do. So, yeah, remember, if you like it, share it, subscribe, let the people know, get this thing out here, and we'll see y'all next Friday.